Thank you to all the amazing listeners out there. On behalf of the Reef Podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for our future mentions on the new episode. Have a great day.
Oh boy, it's another Wednesday here on the Reef SportsCast. Hi everybody, my name is LuisIpa, joined here by the great ZDP in the house. What's good, brother?
What's up? We're here again. Hopefully I can have a better week than last week. Oh man, it was atrocious, but we'll get to that.
I want to thank everybody that listened in to the last sportscast here on the Reef Podcast brand. Thank you so much for everybody that has come in. We have received really good reviews from you guys on the community. You guys are awesome for liking us, subscribing to us on YouTube, following us on Twitch, and all the above. So we have a guest with us today. It's not a Big Will anymore because we had Big Will last week, and now we have a new guest. So you want to introduce him real quick, ZDP?
My man, one of my greatest friends I've known for quite some time. Love to go through and have him on the podcast. He's been on I'm sure you'll see his face on other podcasts I've had in the past for NFL Pick'ems. It is my man, the one and only Doyle. Let's go. Doyle, tell us one fun fact about yourself, man.
Appreciate you guys having me here. Fun fact for me is I'm the only true Southern-born person in my whole family. Everyone else was born in the North, so I am technically the black sheep of my family by that standard.
So what do you consider part of the South? Is it Kentucky and below?
Kentucky and below.
Okay. The line of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Some say Kentucky's on the borderline, but I feel like that line between Kentucky and Ohio is where the North is at.
Well, even if he extended to that far, still the only one in my family born below that line.
Got you. Born below? I thought you were born up north.
No, I'm born in Tennessee. My whole family's born up north in Chicago and area.
Got you. Well, thank you again so much. Thank you again for going through and being able to make some time to be on the podcast, man. As always, I enjoy your presence and love you like a brother. Let's get to this stuff. All right. So, we want to go through and start off this with week 1 reactions. There's a lot of great things that happened this past week. You had a lot of upsets. You had a lot of just flipping the scripts and just some heat. But I'm going to go through and start off with the matchup between Minnesota versus the Bears. So you go from a pick 6 from J.J. McCarthy, flipping the script. So you go through and have 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. This man took off all last season, came in his first game in the NFL, and to be able to go through and perform at a clutch manner. It's amazing. And I feel like there's something there with JJ. There's something there. But on the flip side, you have Caleb Williams. He went through, he had a hot start, but couldn't respond to when Minnesota's defense started to surge up late in the game. What are you guys' take on this?
All I gotta say real quick before I actually dive a little bit into it is thank you, Dennis Allen, for leaving the Saints, because now I know that you basically have not changed one bit. You're still the same Dennis Allen that was here in New Orleans. So thank you for making us look better, actually, because my goodness, Dennis Allen let 21 unanswered points just like that, dude. I mean, come on. It shows that he's lost his magic. Don't get me wrong, he used to be a good coach, defensive coach, but it shows that he flops. All right, so that's my honest opinion. I mean, the quarterback. I mean, I'm glad that he had Minnesota's Vikings quarterback. I mean, he's good. He just it's just like any other one. He's 2 years in the league, right? If I'm not mistaken.
This will be his second year. Yeah, technically his first year because he was injured all last season, but he is here and having some fun.
So basically, this is how I put it. They always have those rookie comeback player of the years. I mean, it's too early to say, but in my honest opinion, I honestly think that he can actually, if he stays healthy, he can actually do really well with the Vikings. But just try not to aggravate that injury that he had, because that tends to happen with a lot of second year people that actually have been in the NFL for not that long. And some players, believe it or not, they always do that. They always have those comeback years, and it could be one. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's still early, so that's my take on it. So I'm gonna pass it off to Doyle, see what he got.
I mean, my take on the game is it showed one quarterback showing growth throughout the year through the game, with JJ McCarthy having the pick six, struggling first three quarters, and then the fourth quarter finally showing you why Minnesota took that chance on him in the first round after everyone was doubting him because he came from Michigan, which was a very run-happy team, to him showing why he could win the game passing, where Caleb Williams is slowly starting to get that knack of can play a great couple of quarters, but when the time matters, he disappears. He's going to have that mistake. He's going to do something that you're like, why? And he's going to slowly, if he doesn't get it over it, he's going to get that knack of like, great quarterback for quarters 1, 2, 3, fourth quarter. All right, what Caleb are we going to get? Are we going to get that good Caleb we saw last year? Or are we going to get this Caleb we just saw this previous where it's a blowout and you look good in garbage time and have a great pass to Roma Dunze that just pads stats and does nothing really for the game?
Well, I mean, overall, I think, like, Minnesota can have like I said, I mean, any team out there, as long as, like, you have a healthy starters, like you have a bunch of healthy starters, you should go far in the NFL. But like I told you before, ZDP, it all comes down to the offensive line all the time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many times you want me to repeat this, but I'm gonna repeat it every week until it makes some sense to some people. Because some people, I mean, yeah, you have Brady, you have Breeze, you have Manning, you have all the elites that were back then. But what made those players elites was the offensive line. Same thing with Mahomes. You realize that if Mahomes had the worst offensive line out there, you think he's gonna do good? Be honest right now.
He's very agile and he's able to move in the pocket. So I mean, he's been making that magic happen, but it's gonna eventually fade away when.
I mean, look what happened. Look what happened in that game on Friday. His offensive line did not help at all. And he got nervous.
No,
he literally, like, couldn't do anything. He had to scramble out of the pocket. That's what happens when you don't have an offensive line. You can't coordinate well. You have to have the run game established first, and then you can start passing. But it all comes down to that line, dude. Props to the offensive line of every single team that's out there, because they're the hardest workers in the NFL, in my opinion.
Okay. So, you I want to go through and get to the next game.
Yeah, we got you.
Ravens versus Bills take over here.
Man, this game right here, dude. I was speechless. The whole time, because I was like, oh my gosh, the Bills are getting destroyed. Because, don't get me wrong, Lamar does what Lamar does. He's basically everything in the Ravens right now, dude. And did you guys hear the chants for MVP? Please tell me you heard the chants for MVP for Lamar in Buffalo.
I mean, you're going to hear it because I think they're roughly close to one another, aren't they? Like,
yeah, they're
easy.
They're roughly close to each other, but I mean, the fact that they were chanting MVP on Josh Allen's turf, that's just like disrespectful. Like, you don't say Lamar MVP. Like, literally, dude. especially on Josh Allen's home. Like, you don't do that. And what did Josh Allen do? He stayed calm. He's like, you know what? Okay. let's stay calm, guys. I mean, doesn't matter if they call him MVP. Let's show them who the true MVP is gonna be. And believe it or not, dude, Josh Allen is still in top shape. He really is. So stay healthy, Josh Allen, and I got a feeling that he might actually have a big run this year. But props to him for scoring all those points, and shame on Ravens for letting them catch up like that, because my goodness, dude, the fact that it came this close is like, Jesus, man, how do you let them come back? Like, it's unheard of. That's my take. I'm going to go to ZDP now.
All right. So let's start off with this. You had Josh Allen's final 4 minutes. You thought March Madness is wild. Man, this guy in 4 minutes, down 15 points, went beast mode, totaling, for the full game of 394 yards, 4 total touchdowns, and a game-winning drive. Fun facts. This is the 8th loss that the Ravens have had when they had a 90% or greater chance to win a game. The 8th time in history. A 90% chance of this franchise. We know the Ravens franchise has been a very successful franchise, but to go through and have these losses with such a high percentage is like, what's going on here? What's going on here? So I have a question for you guys. Who do you think is here to blame for this loss for the Ravens? Is it Lamar? Is it Derrick Henry? Or is it Baltimore's defense?
I personally think you should actually create a poll, because we actually have polls available now. So if anybody's here in the chat voting, vote now. I mean, hey, personally, we're going to vote here too. So if anyone's hearing on Twitch, they can actually make a vote.
So the poll is not working. It's not allowing me to make that command. That's why the other one was a question. But yeah, so I will say Moore had a sensational game. You can't knock the guy for the game. People go through and say he wasn't clutch. I want to say it's Derrick Henry's fault. Dude went through and almost had 200 yards. I think like 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, but fumbled when it mattered the most. Like, I understand the Ravens are the ex-Browns. And I understand the Browns be Brownsin. But is this like a little history of the Browns? Like, the fact that they had a fumble on a potential game-sealing drive. You're going through, you had a 13-yard rush from Lamar Jackson. And then the play after that, Derrick Henry went through and fumbled. But on top of that, after the fumble, Baltimore's defense could not hold the winning drive from Josh Allen. So ultimately, the defense? Ultimately, the defense? I would say that would be the enigma to the reason why this loss is what it is. But what's your take on it, Doyle?
I mean, yes, you can credit Derrick Henry for the fumble, Lamar for having a so-so fourth quarter, not wanting to make some key plays, the defense for giving up all those yards and being torched all game. But all in all, it all lands at the feet of John Harbaugh, the coach.
Harbaugh.
He could have easily game planned a little bit better. He could have had timeouts to burn, trying to draw the Bills, who are going for it and saying, we're going to draw them offsides. Just doing some crazy things that we've seen all other coaches do. Start the offense on, run the punt team out. Or put the punt team on, run the offense out there. Just trying to create some chaos to get that extra easy 5 yards, get the first down, game's over. It is, yes, Derrick Henry fumbles. Yes, the defense does this. But, oh no, Harbaugh is the guy who is to blame, because he could easily have done something in that time period to try and get Buffalo to jump off sides. Because, Buffalo's inching and fighting. The adrenaline's going. A defensive lineman's going to possibly try their best to time the snap count. Hard count, do something, get those 5 yards, game's over, Baltimore wins. You don't ever risk putting the ball in Josh Allen's hands who's on fire, who has torched your defense, who has shown you you don't want the ball in his hands. He's up there with Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow sometimes. That game's on the line, don't give it to him. You do everything possible to not let him get the ball.
I honestly miss
Great
when the Ravens were known for the amazing number one defense, Ray Lewis days and all that stuff. Man, I miss those days when they were like.
Well, they still got a top defense. They still got a top defense.
I don't know. I mean, I think the Bills actually exposed them, my friend. I mean, now that week 1 is over, dude, all the teams are gonna take some tape from that and say, hey, let's do the same thing Buffalo did right here. I mean, I don't know, man. But anyways, let's move to our next game right here. We got Pittsburgh and New York Jets. Oh, boy. This is actually interesting. So, Doyle, I'm going to let you actually take on this one first, and then you get to choose who is going to go next after that.
So, to me, this game is it the real Steelers or is this the real Jets? Like, the Steelers normally are known for their great defense and a bad offense. Do they finally have that offense to go with the defense they've always been had? And same with the Jets. They always been known for defense. Is this offense actually going to sustain, or did we just see two defenses not actually show up and the offenses just showed out for once for both these teams, or is this going to be sustainable for both offenses? And that's the only question I really have of this game. Great performance by Aaron Rodgers, finally showing up like he used to, where he can pull that great game that he does have with him being a top 10 quarterback of all time, but he's never going to always be able to do that. Are we just going to watch and see if he just crash and burns or what? So I'm going to turn it over to ZDP for his take.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off with this. My take on Rodgers last week kind of is not looking so great right now after him going through and torching that Jets defense. So he probably listened into the podcast, heard what I had to say, and he want to go through and prove me wrong. But with that being said, week 1, it's week 1. And as I was going through and watching I think it was Good Morning Football, week 1 is a liar. You can never go through and judge a season based off of the first week. By week 2, maybe week 3, you'll be able to go through and see what it's about. Because you're going to go through and have some teams show out and some teams not really prosper the way that they need to go through and play. Like the Bengals this past week. But I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. He didn't look like he was washed up. He looked like he was Rodgers in his Green Bay days. With that being said, you have legacy versus destiny. So Justin Fields is trying to go through and rewrite his story here from what people know him from in Chicago. I did say when he did play, he had top 10 quarterback weekly. And that's because of his feet, being able to go through and run out the pocket, do things and all that. The play that was there was questionable, but I lined it more towards Garrett Wilson's fault. He should have caught that. But then again, he got a hit stick from Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey went through and brought the steel curtain over to the Jets. So are we going to see Justin Fields continue to write a narrative to where he can become clutch, which we haven't really seen? Are we going to go through and continue to see Rodgers prosper in this Steelers offense that has a lot of great pieces there? I mean, it's only week 1, but we'll see. We'll see on that. Louis?
All right. So first thing I'm going to say is WTF Rodgers. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, how do you go? Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you basically, like, do you watch the media make fun of you, like pick on you and say like, oh, you're washed up and everything? I mean, like, I agree with you, CDP. I mean, literally, like, you know, he probably does watch podcasts, or he probably watches, like, you know, people say like, oh, he doesn't have that magic anymore. But to perform like that hey, I got to give an applause to Rodgers for that. Great.
I'm going to laugh. On that note, I'm going to laugh so hard if he's got a picture or a poster of my face and he's like throwing dartboards at it. He's like, oh, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. Or like other podcasts or like the other news media just having like darts or whatever, just pinned messages as motivation of him doing things that he's going to go through and do. But I digress.
Hey, all I got to say about this game, this is the key word, is revenge. Because he literally was with the Jets, and the Jets said, you know what? We're done with you. We're throwing you in the bin. What did Pittsburgh said? Hey, let's give this guy a chance. So they went, look in the trash can. Oh, look, there's Rodgers. Hello. Let's pick him up, drag him with us, and make him actually feel at home. And he basically said, you know what, Jets? I'm done with y'all. I'm going to go play out. They played in New York, if I'm not mistaken, correct? So literally, like, I kid you not, dude, revenge. And to throw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, like you said, Green Bay days, dude. But I do got to give credit to Jets, though. Their running game was on point. They literally were running the ball a lot, over 100 yards. Like, that's insane. But you can't just win by running the ball. You have to make sure the defense actually makes its stops. Clock management, my guys. Clock management. That's what you need. You need a lot of clock management when it comes to football. If you don't have clock management, I mean, I'm not saying that every team has clock management, but literally a lot of the teams this last week that I've been seeing have not called any timeouts in the first half. I say that because I actually went to a game this last weekend, and I was pissed. Literally, I told my friend, don't talk to me right now because I'm pissed. I'm really.
He's about to go through and start uppercutting people.
Not just
say it with your chest.
Not just uppercutting, but more like Hadouken them, basically.
Hadouken.
Yeah.
Man, I guess they were trying to go through and hold it down for like a challenge play or something. I don't know what was going on, but I believe the only team to go through and call timeouts was in the Chiefs and Chargers game. I could be wrong, but I believe there was like back-to-back timeouts that were used because they were worried about play calling and people weren't going through and the formations were weird. I don't know. I'll have to go through and look more into that. But there was one game that it surprised me when I was watching it that they did call quite a few timeouts in the first half. But yeah, so y'all want to get to hot takes?
Sure. So my personal hot take, I would have to say, is the Josh Allen comeback. Dude, I mean, I'm sorry, but props to that guy, dude. I mean, I can't call him MVP after a week, but he definitely looked like a MVP in the first week. Like, he has my player of the week, honestly. Like, I think he deserves that player of the week, like, in general, like, of every position. So I'm going to pass it up to Doyle. What you got?
My hot take is, for the first time probably in 3 years or 5 years or something, the Kansas City Chiefs will not make the AFC Championship game.
Oh, you heard it here, folks. Someone better clip that, because I want to see if this guy actually goes through his word, and if he does, I'm going to start dancing, do him a little New Orleans dance for you.
And my hot take is Russell Wilson will not be starting in week 3.
Week 3, not week 2.
Will not be starting. Yeah, Jackson Dart's going to take reign week 3.
Damn. Wow. All right. So are we ready for some big news or not?
Let's get it. So, all
right. So big news. I'm gonna let you take the board because you have the big news. So what you got, CDP?
So what do you guys think about the Jalen Carter situation, the suspension? So I'll start out with this. In my opinion, he did serve a full game and gave up the full week's paycheck. I think it's nullified. I feel like it's okay. Now, with that being said, some people want to go through and talk about Dak started it because he was going through and grinning. He spat in the direction, and they had that altercation in between pre-game snap, and then Jalen Carter went through and spat on his chest. There isn't anything wrong with people spitting in the direction. Yeah, it's disrespectful. You don't want to spit at anybody, but there is no penalty if you go through and hit the ground. And we always know that if you do the reaction, you're going to go through and get caught. You see it all the time in the NBA. All the time. The fouls, the flagrant fouls, the pass interference calls that aren't called all the time during college football or even in the NFL. Like, people go through and push off. I mean, they're doing a little bit better, a little bit better, but it's always the reaction that's going to be called. Now, it was front and center, and you saw it where he spat on his chest, but I digress. I feel like it has been nullified. I think he served his time because it was a full game suspension. He was not able to play, and on top of that, forfeiting his week pay.
Okay.
Doyle.
Oh, Doyle.
I mean, it's weird because it's like you did it and you got suspended for the game, and they're like, oh, hey, week 2, we're suspending him a game, but we're going to suspend him because technically he didn't play any week 1. Yes, like Z said, it did get served, but it's just weird that they're like going to be able to backdate a suspension on a player because they're like, well, you didn't technically play the week, so it's just going to be opening a more interesting case by case down the line if in case this happens again. The NFL has basically already set their standard, like, oh, the guy didn't play at all this game, so technically he was suspended, even though we're suspending him for a game. So it's just going to be interesting how the NFL handles this in the future with what they just put in play with this whole Jalen Carter situation.
Mm-hmm. And it's not the first time he's done this, right? I don't think he's done any unsportsmanlike penalties.
He's basically like a clean but dirty player. Like he toes the line a lot, and now he's basically put a target on his back because he likes to play in that gray area with some taunting, some of this, some of that. But now he's put the refs are just going to watch him more for it.
Well, when you play the cards out, you got to go through and expect the dealer to come up with a flop, and hopefully you don't fold or you play, make your bet if you go all in.
This is my take on that. Be professional. Stop, if somebody spits on you or anything like that, just walk away. I mean, you're professional, right? You're in the NFL for a reason. You're not a kid anymore. Literally, stop acting like a kid. You're actually a grown-ass man. I mean, sorry for my language, but it's just for real. I mean, what? Somebody actually does that? I mean, yeah, like you said, it is disrespectful. But, I mean, some people are like Sylvester or Daffy Duck. They want to spit it all over. Just literally, But Dak is known for that. He literally said, hey, when I talk, I spit. And some people, maybe, he has something going through him that he does that. And if I was him, if I was Jalen Carter, I would just say, you know what? He did that. I'm just going to walk away. If the refs see that he did that, let the blame be on him. But the refs weren't looking when Dak started all that stuff. They were looking right when Jalen Carter did it back. So
yeah,
the best
you hit him.
The best solution is walk away. Walk away and don't be a professional. That's my only take I have on that because you're a grown person. You're not a college kid. You're not a high schooler. You're not a middle schooler. Dude, grow up. I'm bash him. If you listen to this podcast, I'm sorry, but it's just that move away. That's all I gotta say. Walk away, and just watch out for Reptile from Mortal Kombat. Okay, don't be spitting
Mortal Kombat.
Don't be spitting if somebody spits it's okay. If somebody provokes you, the best solution is to walk away from the problem. That's all you gotta do.
So I agree with you, but it's an NFC East matchup. It's the first game of the season. Tempers are flying. People are going to go through and compete. We got the peacocks out with their chests, going through and trying to, put it on the table. who's bigger? You know what I'm saying? Put it on the table.
I know.
But I will say Jalen Carter made his announcement afterwards, manning up for the situation, apologizing for his actions, regardless of what and how we see that is a professional act. And as Doyle said, if it does repeat, they need to go through and do something different. So there's that.
All right, so let's go ahead and go into injuries now, shall we? Oh boy, there's a lot of them. So I'm gonna let Doyle start with the injuries. So Doyle, you got the seat, buddy.
I mean, the biggest injury that came out of week one, probably that shocked the NFL for the first time, is George Kittle for the 49ers going on the IR. That's pretty much outside of McCaffrey, their offense. It is McCaffrey and Kittle. So now going forward, teams are just going to slowly do what the Seahawks did it towards the end of the game. They're just going to stack the box, put 10 in the box, have two people on McCaffrey and say, all right, Brock Purdy, find someone else to beat us with. How are you going to do that? Because, I mean, after Kittle left, the offense did struggle because it was just like, narrow, we're just going to target McCaffrey. So it's going to be interesting with that.
I got to say about this. I got to say something real quick. I got a feeling that we're basically going to see a really angry San Francisco, and we're also going to see a really angry New Orleans Saints, because this last game that New Orleans Saints had, they had it. They could have done it. They could have won. And they're furious with themselves. But like I said, offensive line for 49ers, I got a feeling that their quarterback is actually not 100%. He's still, they said they might actually start a backup. And I got a feeling that if they keep passing to McCaffrey, that's going to be another injury. Because if you remember correctly, McCaffrey is injury prone. He gets injured quite a bit. And when he does get injured again, he misses quite some time. But why does he get injured? Because they rely on him all the time. So that's all I gotta say right now. What you were gonna say, CDP? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I was gonna ask, how do you guys feel about Tongues coming in? Do you feel like he's gonna be a good, not a good replacement for Kittle, but do you think he's gonna help fill the void? Because I believe he did catch a touchdown.
I mean, he did, but he's not on the level that you're going to go into that game. If you're playing the 49ers, Tongue is going to be there. All the receivers are going to be there. But lo and behold, the one person that every defensive coordinator is going to look at is we're stopping 23. Anyone else can beat us, not him. We've seen him wreck games by himself. We've seen him win games by himself to what he can do. But every defensive coordinator is going to just go in now and be like, anyone but McCaffrey.
Okay. So we have remaining lingering issues. Yeah, Joe Mixon still out. Tajee Spears still out from IR. Chris Godwin reportedly out. Brendan Ayuk's questionably out, are still out. There's a few here that we need to kind of look over. You did bring up Brock Purdy being uncertain. We do have Xavier Worthy, who is dealing with a shoulder injury and need to go through a monitor to him as well. Same thing with Drake London. He suffered a sprained shoulder. Monitor that as well. Puka Nakua leaving the game with a concussion, but coming back, something to look out as well. There are a few other ones, like we have Brock Bowers, who has a knee injury, Evan Ingram with a calf injury, Isaiah Likely with a foot injury, and Darnell Mooney with shoulder, Christian Kirk with hamstring, and then Will Shipley with a rib injury. But outside of that, that is your updates for injury reports for you fantasy football fans or just fans out there to go through and know about that. It might go through and to pick any outcomes of the game, future games.
Also, I gotta say about these injuries, like especially the ones that they say doubtful, questionable and stuff. For all the people that play fantasy, please pray. that your player actually plays, because I hate when it says questionable. I really do, because I'm like, my goodness. Or game time decision. That's what aggravates me. I'm like, come on. Like, yes or no. Why you have to wait till... I mean, yeah, I understand injuries happen. But it's just like, it's like, man, like, you have to wait till the last minute. And then if you activate him and he doesn't play, you basically facepalm yourself. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Why did I do that? All right. Let's go ahead and get to some matchups over here, because matchups are amazing. So let's go into it. All right.
Right. Start. Go ahead.
Go ahead and you start with this, CDP. I'll let you have the spotlight on this.
All right. So we got Thursday night's matchup. This is going to be a very, 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 very amazing game. A lot of varies there, because we were going to talk about variables. My dad pun right there. All right. So I was wrong for my first week prediction with the Lions going through and winning in Lambeau. And, I forget about the aura that is in Lambeau. It's hard to win there. One of the best fan bases, the only fan base operated franchise that's still there. So you're looking at Jaden Daniels' defense, or I'm sorry, Jaden Daniels versus Green Bay's defense. Jaden Daniels went for 19 for 30, 233 yards, passing yards, 1 TD, 0 1 TD, 0 interceptions, 3 sacks, 68 rushing yards. While Green Bay's defense had 4 sacks, a total of 9 quarterback hits, held the Lions to 25% TD on red zone possessions. You had 7 tackles for loss of yards. So like the Green Bay's defense was pretty stout this past week. How many snaps do you think Micah Parsons will have? I mean, he took 29 last week, which was about 45% of the defensive snaps in total. It's less than what he's accustomed to in Dallas, but he still recorded a sack. With that being said, they need him more in this game for his presence to go through and keep Jaden Daniels in the pocket, because Jaden Daniels outside of the pocket is going to be very lethal. I mean, he ran for 68 yards and, had a solid game in the passing game. So then you have the Packers. Oh, this past week, I will say, to go on your note of talking about offensive lines, the Packers offensive line was so smooth. Jordan Love was throwing the ball like butter. Dude, he has so many deep passes. He had 3 passing plays that went for 20 or more yards. The Packers averaged 5.7 yards per play. And then there was 1 pick, but it was nullified because of Detroit's penalty they had on that game.
It was a pass interference.
My verdict for this game, it's going to be Green Bay winning in Lambeau in a close matchup, 24-21.
You better write that down.
I have it here, yeah.
Okay, so my take on this game, I agree with Daniels. He is a good quarterback. He's phenomenal. Props to him. But I think Jordan Love is going to be a little too much for him. Because, dude, not only the offensive line is phenomenal for Green Bay, but, dude, the whole chemistry, dude. The whole team feels in sync. I got a feeling that Green Bay is going to have a blowout on this one. I think they're going to beat Washington, I'd say, by at least 14 points.
14.
Yep.
That's wild.
Because, I mean, dude, I know you said, Jordan Love looked phenomenal, but, dude, did you hear the commentators? They're like, oh, he's spreading the love to everybody. He's doing the love. I'm like, yeah, he's getting recognized, dude. He's getting that recognition that he deserves. He's a good quarterback. I'm not trying to kiss butt, but, dude, that dude looked good against Detroit. And
He did.
And that's a good Detroit that we all know is actually a good contender now. So if he were to beat, for example, New Orleans or some really low team, dude, okay, that's nothing. That's not a match. But beating Detroit, your NFC North rival, I understand it's Lambeau, but still, to beat him, it's amazing. I think Green Bay is gonna win by 14. What you got,
Okay.
Doyle?
All right. So going back to Z's point, I think Micah Parsons gets up there to that close to 70-80% of the defensive snaps. Slowly getting back. This would be 2 weeks. He stayed in shape. It's more just gonna be like, how does that back feel still of his that we finally figured out was real, that he wasn't faking it when he was in Dallas. This game to me is going to come down to which quarterback does not make the mistake. Yes, Jaden Daniels is going to be able to run and create plays, but he's going to have to make plays with his arm, which he has shown. And can he avoid that big turnover? And to Jordan Love, he had a great game last week, but he also did put the ball in very dangerous situations. And the only reason he didn't have them is a defense not being able to catch a ball, defense penalties canceling it out. So it's just going to come down to, can Jordan Love put a clean game together against this Washington team that is going to go in there not fearing them because of how they played last year and everything. So I think it's going to come down to a very close game. And I just think in the end, Green Bay is going to sneak it out very close at the end of the game.
All right.
All right, let's go to the next one. We got Giants and Cowboys. I'm sorry, but this game, my goodness. You want just my quick take on this?
If you have any information, any take, go ahead.
All I gotta say is that, dude, these two teams lost the first week. They did not. I'm sorry. If you look at the stats, Giants barely have any points. They're 32nd in the league, okay? In points. And they're going against Dallas. In Dallas. Right? So,
yeah,
I got a feeling that Dallas is going to win this. It might be close. I don't know. Dallas is always unpredictable. They could actually have a good game one week, and then the next week they might have a bad week. They always do that. They really do. So, I'm going to pull an upset on this one. I'm going to pull the Giants over the Cowboys by 3.
What?
Yep.
Let's go. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, in my opinion, this is a game where we get to see if what Dallas's offense is truly capable of. Because if they can't take advantage of this Giants team that just got torched and didn't do anything, there's a lot more problems going in Dallas than what is seen right now. If George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and that offense can't score points against this Giants defense, there's a lot more issues. But I'm going to go with Dallas in this game, probably by a blowout, and it gets closer and closer to ZDP's prediction of Russ not making it past week 3.
All right. So, I mean, it's an NFC East matchup. You can't go through and, knock that. They're going to go through and compete. But I was impressed with the Cowboys last week, to be able to go through and play against the Super Bowl champions. They did, contend in the first half, and but it's an NFC East back-to-back matchups for them. Outside of the soap opera mix of the Spitgate, we got that situated. But my verdict, Cowboys at home, 28-17.
Oh, boy. So
Let's go.
So,
Wrestle it up.
So I'm the only one pulling the upset, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
right.
pick.
Hey, if it happens, all I'm going to do is this. All right. Let's. What you got for the next game, CDP?
So we have the Seahawks versus the Steelers. All right, so I'm going to go through and say this again. I was wrong about Rodgers. He showed flashes. You guys can go through and go back earlier and all that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm a human. We make mistakes. But I'll say, Jalen Ramsey is what clutched the game. Knocking that ball, coming with the hit to introduce himself into the steel curtain. My verdict, Steelers 28-24.
Dang, that was quick. Okay. I got to agree with you. I mean, Rodgers is at his new home, and they've been performing phenomenal. I mean, for the first week, and that literally have decent numbers. I mean, which Rodgers are we going to see? Are we going to see the Green Bay Glory Rodgers, or we're going to see the modern Rodgers that gets hurt after a few games? I mean, we'll see what happens, but in this one, I got to go with the Steelers too at home. I think they're going to win by 7.
And for me, I'm just going to make a clean sweep of the Steelers. I feel like this game is going to be where we see the real Steelers defense show up, not the pretend Steelers defense that showed up last week. I feel like they're going to get after Darnold. He's going to go back to how he was before Minnesota, making those crazy mistakes that people are like, what are you doing, Darnold? Kind of deal. And I think Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to have a great game. He's going to have probably a mediocre game in his standards, but good enough for the Steelers to pull out the victory.
All right.
Okay.
Next one, we got the Rams and the Titans. I got to say this right now. As much as I don't like the Rams, I got a feeling that Matthew Stafford is going to have a phenomenal game in this one. I got a feeling that he's actually going to have like close to 300 yards passing. He's going to throw more touchdowns this time, not just one like last week. And Rams over the Titans by 10.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. It's back-to-back games, tough games for a rookie. Cam Ward didn't do so well week 1. He took 6 sacks, and the Titans defense kept it a close game. Last week they had a total of 4 takeaways. Don't know why the Titans couldn't go through and go off on that with 4 takeaways. Usually, if you win the turnover battle, you're gonna win the game. But I'm gonna say it's another loss for the Titans. Rams 21-12.
I'm going to go with you guys. The Rams are going to win this game. I think this is going to be an interesting view for Cam Ward. He's going to see an offense where he's going to feel a little more pressure in this game because he's going to have to score with the Rams. I don't see Stafford making the same mistakes that Bo Nix did, not giving the ball up, and you're going to see the Rams put points up, and you're just going to make Cam Ward slowly might have to consider playing hero ball as a quarterback, trying to make that deep play, make that one big play, and it might cost him. And then I think Puka's going to be able to play. I know he went out for a concussion but came back, but I think it was just if you looked at the hit, that's automatically going to get viewed for a concussion, and then how he started bleeding from his eyelid just because I got hit. But I think he'll be fine. And I expect him and Stafford to have a big game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Devontae Adams shows up in this game pretty big because everyone's going to forget about him with Puka.
Yeah. But I feel like the run game is going to be more presence in this game for the Rams. Stafford, he's going to do Stafford things, but do we know anything of his injury? Because I feel if he's not in this game, it's going to be closer than what we think. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, it's unpredictable for that one. But okay, so Buffalo and Jets. Do I have to cheer for this, or you want me to just say my pick right away?
Whatever you vibe.
All right, so I'm gonna go Bills. Bills. Okay, simple as that. Super easy. Bills are gonna dominate easily, easy peasy. I don't care if they play in the Meadowlands where Jets play. Dude, I'm sorry. Buffalo all the way. I got a feeling that Buffalo is going to have a blowout on this one. I can't say the score but I'm going to say it's going to be more than your close score. More than 14, I got a feeling. It's going to be a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a blowout. Because, dude, Buffalo, I'm not riding the Buffalo train yet, but if Josh Allen performs like he did last week with the stats that he had, I'm going to start calling him close to MVP. Close. Not yet, though, but I'm saying he could be. We'll
He's the reigning MVP, though.
He is the reigning MVP, but imagine if he does it back-to-back. Literally.
That's very true.
Would he be the first player to ever do back-to-back MVPs? That's the big question, right? I'm going to ask everybody here that's listening. I know you guys are watching on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Dude, Josh Allen, back-to-back MVP. Maybe we'll see.
I think we've seen it before. I think Rodgers did it, maybe, and when he was in his prime, maybe did a back-to-back.
I,
Maybe
I don't know, but my
We'll,
take.
we'll look that up real quick.
My
it'd be either like Rodgers, Favre, or Manning. With how many MVPs those guys were winning, they might have won it back-to-back.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, 2020 and 2021. Peyton Manning, 23 or 2003 and 2004, and then again in 2008 and 2009. Brett Favre, he won it from 1995 to 1997. Joe Montana, 89 to 90, and then Jim Brown, 57 to 58. So yeah, we got it. We got it.
All right, what's your takes? Buffalo or New York?
I'm gonna go with let's go Buffalo. Circle the wagons, like nobody does, like the Bills. This is the AFC East. Buffalo in the past couple years since they got Allen has dominated the AFC East, and I don't see anything changing. The Jets are not the Ravens, and what he did it to the Ravens is gonna be a repeat, and that defense is just gonna probably have a better game than they did against the Ravens.
I do have a question about that. Would you think the outcome would have been different for game one between the Bills and the Ravens if it was in Baltimore?
I got a feeling that it would have, but I mean, I don't count Josh Allen out. Josh Allen is in another level right now. He's still young, but he's still performing. Like he's in his prime years, like they call it. He's still gonna be doing good, no matter where he plays. I'm not trying to kiss his butt, like I said, but I'm just saying, dude, he's a phenomenal player. He has great offensive line, great players around. He's building that chemistry right at the bat, and he still has a long way to go. So, go Buffalo.
I don't think it would matter where the game, if it was in Baltimore, Buffalo. The only thing, because we've seen Josh Allen have big games in hostile environments. He's played in Kansas City. He's played in Baltimore. He's played in hostile environments. So I don't think it would have mattered. The only thing different would have been like that last drive. He would have had more crowd energy, maybe, but the crowd might have been taken out of it with him having that comeback and the fans being stunned. So I don't know. He's played in hostile environments and had great games to where it's also taken a heroic effort to beat him on the road.
Got you. I'm just going to keep it sweet. I do agree with you guys. Bills, for me, 28-21.
Another game that I basically say that's gonna be high scoring or like something unpredictable. Love it. All right, what we got next at CDP?
So the next matchup, we have the Patriots versus the Dolphins.
They're both 0-1.
It's time to move on from Tua. It's time to move on from Tua. I got the Patriots winning this 18-15.
Oh my god, I just love the fact that you basically just said that. You're like Tua. I mean, I'm sorry, dude.
Tua.
I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a little boring game. It's like, who wants to win it? I mean, they're both 0-1. They're playing in Miami. There's no Belichick. There's no Brady. There's no more magic in this game anymore. Like, it's basically a rebuilding team against a team that has a okay quarterback that has not proved himself yet. And you have an old wide receiver that can basically break his leg in an instant with one little thing. And that's Hill. I mean, I'm sorry.
Tyreek Hill is actually, there was an alert. I'm sorry to cut you off. Tyreek Hill is in an investigation right now for domestic violence.
Oh, wow. That is breaking news. Jesus.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up, guys. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Patriots all the way. Patriots are going to win. It's probably going to be by 3. That's all I got to say.
As the Patriots fan here, I hate this game. We always play bad, no matter what. When we had Brady, no matter when we had Belichick, we always played bad in the beginning of the year in Miami. For some weird reason, it was always a bad game with possibly Tyreek missing. How Daniel Jones somehow carved up this Miami defense. I'm going to go with the Patriots squeaking one out also in the bottom feeder of the AFC East division game. And sooner or later, I'm pretty sure Miami's going to start looking for their quarterback of the future, either this year with a trade or next year they're going to draft one.
Okay. What do you think? Who do you think their potential quarterback's going to be for the future?
I mean, it's either they trade for one or they look for one of the guys coming out of college.
I heard Jameis Winston's on speed dial.
Yes, he might be on speed dial to get drafted to come down there do something, but it's either they trade for someone this year or they're going to look at the quarterback class coming out, depending on how they look.
Okay, so based off what you've seen in college so far, who do you think would be a quarterback that would be selected in the top 3 picks?
Well, I mean, after only 2 weeks, you really don't know anything yet. And most of the quarterbacks that everyone has their eyes on technically don't have to declare this year. All the big names that everyone's looking at are juniors or redshirt this. So technically, the one quarterback everyone's waiting for, I know he had a bad week 1 and he kind of rebounded against a scrub team, is Arch Manning, and his grandfather said, nope, he's doing all 4 years like his 2 uncles. So, I mean, the quarterbacks everyone wants to possibly come out has that year to be like, nah, I'm going to come back for my senior year. And then it's just going to be more wait and see about what quarterback comes out and says, you should draft me.
Got you.
Wouldn't it be a twist if Saints get Nussmeier from LSU and Patriots decide to get Manning? It'd be weird. That'd be weird, but that'd be a mega twist.
It would be, because they're both, because then it's bringing on another quarterback on a rookie contract. Nah, I see the Colts trying to draft that Manning and just trying to strike lightning twice with the name.
I got you. I mean, okay, moving on to the next game. We got, oh boy, I've been waiting for this game. Jaguars against Bengals. You know, I see you smiling down there. I see you. Dude, come on, man. College rematch for the national championship? I mean, come on, dude. Trevor Lawrence against Joe Burrow? Oh, man. If only Joe Burrow wasn't an NFC team. And
AFC.
No, but I'm saying if he was in NFC and Trevor Lawrence was AFC, or like the other way around, and they met in the Super Bowl, wouldn't that be an incredible Super Bowl to see?
That'd be dope.
They literally had a match for the national championship, and then they met in the Super Bowl. That would be incredible.
That'd be dope.
I would actually be like, dude, I'm taking off for work for watching this because this is a matchup of the century. But in my take on this one, I mean, it's hard to tell. Cincinnati Bengals offensive line, it's hard to tell. Like, you know, what if they do. Sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad. But I mean, they don't protect him. They don't protect Burrow. I'm telling you, dude, I'm gonna keep repeating offensive line. I'm gonna make a meme that says offensive line is the key to victory when it comes to, like, you know, games. But I think I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take Bengals by 10 against Jacksonville.
I think in this game, we're going to see, this is going to be a true test for the Jaguars defense. Nothing against Carolina Panthers. They're still trying to find their way. They're still trying to figure out, even if they have their quarterback of the future, Bryce Young, after his up and downs and that is roller coaster where they're about to face, arguably in the AFC, a top 4 quarterback, and widely considered in around the league, one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks against Trevor Lawrence in that offense. So it's going to be interesting to see if that Jaguars defense can control that offense like the Browns defense did, but I don't know if Jacksonville has the weapons on defense to combat that. And then it's going to be like, can Jacksonville win a shootout if they get into it? And thinking of all that, give me the Bengals. I just trust that offense to be able to score more as a statement of seeing them in the past be able to put up points.
All right. So in the NFL, a win's a win. The Jags won against a high school team, and the Bengals won from the Browns being the Browns. This QB matchup is a tale of tales, being the third matchup between the two. In 2019, the national championship, Burrow won 42-25. Then the next matchup, week 4 of the 2021 season, Burrow won the matchup 24-21. This is the third time that these two guys will be matching up. They say the third time is a charm, but I do not see this outcome being any different as Burrow leads his team to another victory, 28-25, because he's got a better supporting cast. That's one of the reasons why I'm going with Burrow again in this matchup, winning a sweep 3-0. Trevor Lawrence gets kicked to the curb after this year, and they're going to be drafting their quarterback of the future.
All right, we're going to the next one. We got 49ers at Saints. I'm going to let you guys decide who wants to go first. I'm going to go last on this one because I'm taking my glasses off for this one.
All right, I can start. So regardless of injuries on the team, it's McCaffrey. It's the McCaffrey show. You can go through and put the man in the box, but you can't, like Alice in Chains, man in the box. He's going to go through and break those chains, and he's going to go through and lead his team to victory, 21-13 over the Saints.
To me, this is going to be the running back game between the crazy explosiveness of McCaffrey versus Kamara. Who is going to make the big play for their team? That being said, I just trust Kyle Shanahan to somehow draw up a crazy offensive plays that we haven't seen before. McCaffrey's going to have a decent game, and then the 49ers are going to pull some guy that we've never heard of out of the hat and say this guy is now the best receiver in the league because it's Kyle Shanahan's offense. So give me the 49ers.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready for this? Man, this is the first time I take off my glasses during a podcast, but that's only because I'm serious. Let me say this. Last week when I went and watched this, the week 1 of New Orleans, super excited, super hyped because it was the start of the NFL season. Shout out to everybody that went out there. It was great. But my goodness, the Saints love to get cheated on. Please tell me you guys saw that clear PI that was not even called. And I'm like, dude, the ghosts are hunting again. Literally, atrocious. And that the fact that Rattler rallied at the end to literally pull them within victory, for that amazing job. I give him props for that. But my goodness, Saints fans are the worst. I'm not trying to bash on my team, but it's just dude, why are you bashing on a quarterback that literally came back and almost tied or won the game for you? And literally, you basically tell him to get out of town, get out of here, we don't want you anymore. You think that's actually going to make him actually, think, wow, that's going to get him really emotional because it's his second year. Cut that dude some slack. I'm tired of people bashing him. Give him time to develop. Give him time to, get adjusted. Because last year, he only did 6 games. And he didn't have all the weapons that he needed. And I kid you not, atrocious from a lot of fans that basically want him out already. And I do gotta say something. Kellen Moore not calling timeouts on the first half, that was disgusting. You should do better than that. You should actually do better clock management. You should literally call timeouts so you can actually at least score 3 points because you're getting the ball back. And then literally come back after half and just underperform in the first play and literally wait till the end to actually try catch up. Dude, I'm sorry, you can't win games like that. You need to do better when it comes to clock management. I know it's his first year as head coach, But my goodness, dude, you should know better. You've been an offensive coordinator for so many years already. You should know how to manage a clock because you're under different coaches. But I personally think the Saints are actually. I'm not trying to go like every win, but because there's not gonna be no quarterback for 49ers. There might be, who knows? I mean, McCaffrey might actually not play well because he's playing away from home. But like I said, I mean, it's going to come down to the running backs. But I see the Saints winning this one by 7. All right. So
All right.
we're going to the last game.
Let's give this guy a moment of silence as he's made his pick in.
Yeah. It's ridiculous to make a pick, but I got a feeling that they're going to actually win this one. They're not going to win many games, but this is like the must win. Like, you have to win. There's no way you can lose this game with all the injuries 49ers have. Like, come on, dude. But we'll see what happens. If I'm proved wrong, hey, another week that the next week that we have to pick them, I'm more than likely going to pick the other team because I'll be like, this is the last straw. If you can't win this, then you can't win games. Then just drop 0-17. All right. What else we got in the picks?
I'll let y'all go through and get the next one.
All right. The next matchup we got. Oh boy, we got the Browns and Ravens. I hate to say it to you, but Ravens are gonna come pissed off. They really are. And I feel sorry for your Browns. I got a feeling that the Ravens are gonna destroy the Browns. Just because they're playing in Baltimore. I'm not trying to bash your team or anything, no disrespect. But dude, I'm sorry. The fact that Buffalo came back and beat them, oh, they're mad. They're really gonna come with a storm and literally show no mercy to whoever the next opponent was. And unfortunately, it had to be your Browns. But Ravens over the Browns by at least 10. And that's me being merciful. If I wanted to be evil, I could say more, but I'm being realistic. I think it's going to be 10 because it's a rivalry game.
I'm taking Baltimore. Nothing against the Browns. It is, I don't trust their quarterback. That Browns defense last week played an amazing game. Held the Cincinnati Bengals offense, which normally is a very high-power offense, to 149 total yards. And Flacco couldn't do anything. It is nothing against that Browns defense is probably going to have to play out of their minds again to even have this game close. I just don't trust Joe Flacco doing anything in the regular season. They're just slowly getting closer to starting one of those rookies in Cleveland. So give me Baltimore.
My Browns, man, they love to put their fan base on a roller coaster ride. I wish I could go through and pull a Louis on this one, but sorry guys. I'm gonna put Lamar's gonna go through and do Lamar things. The Ravens are on a revenge tour, and the Browns will be the Browns. 28-17 Ravens.
Well, I mean, at least you're brave enough to say that. I mean, after this,
Back-to-back weeks, dude. Back-to-back weeks. That's a true Browns fan for you, man. That's a true Browns fan for you. Knowing where your team is at. When I feel like they're gonna win, I'll go through and I'll say, but I'm not sold on Joe Flacco. I'm not. But let's get to the next game. We got the Bears versus the Lions. My verdict on this one, the Lions will bounce back at home, winning 28-24.
I got the Lions winning by at least 3.
And I got the Lions winning this game. I trust Jared Goff over Caleb Williams down the end of the game. Caleb Williams is going to do Caleb Williams things. He's either going to be something crazy or something is going to bounce wrong for the Bears, as it always does for the Bears. these crazy games. Give me the Lions in a close game.
All right.
Got you. All right.
right.
So the next game we got, it's the Broncos versus the Colts. Both teams are 1-0. The Colts did a really sneaky thing this past week.
I tell you this
Their
right
defense is looking pretty scary. I think Nix is going to go through and clean up his play, and Danny Dimes will come back to penny plays. Broncos 24-20.
I think personally, this is actually gonna be the Colts again, because the fact that the Colts stomped Miami on their first game, which took everybody by surprise. Everybody literally was like, "Whoa, where did this game come from?" I kid you not. When I was watching my home team play, and they were showing the scoreboard and everything, I was like, literally, my eyes were like, "What? What is this going on? This is almost like a college football game." I was literally shocked, but I see the Colts keep winning. I mean, dude, Daniel Jones looks phenomenal. He really does. I think he found his home. I think like that's gonna be, if he performs like he performed in week 1, it's gonna be a long, good journey for the Colts with Daniel Jones, because props to him, dude. So Colts over the Broncos by 10.
I'm going to take the Broncos in this game. I just don't think the Colts defense is going to be able to get those turnovers like they did against Tua and them. And the Broncos defense is way better than the Miami Dolphins defense. So Daniel Jones is going to have to finally face a good defense. And I think we're going to see old Daniel Jones rear his head. And I like the Broncos in this game.
Got you.
All right.
All right. So the next game we got, it's the Panthers versus the Cardinals. My verdict of this one, Marvin Harrison Jr., Maserati Harrison Jr. is going to have another game. Bryce and the Panthers are going to continue to struggle. Cardinals 20-10.
I go with Cardinals on this one, just because, I mean, dude, Harrison smoked us big time. We couldn't stop him at all, and
I told you.
No, but I'm saying, like,
you're gonna have a game.
You realize that, okay? I'm gonna say this right now. The people that we have, Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's still young. We don't have Lattimore anymore. Lattimore would have been a better matchup against Harrison. Fact, true or false? What do you think?
All I hear is excuses to why he still destroys y'all.
We'll wait till if the Cardinals actually play the Browns this year, and then we'll see what happens then. He might have more yardage. That's just wrong.
The Browns. The
Browns
will beat the Browns, man.
Yeah.
The Browns will beat the Browns, man.
But
Browns will beat the Browns. Why you gotta go through and keep telling me this?
I got the Cardinals winning as well. I got him winning by at least 10 again.
Give me the Cardinals in this. J.C. Horn's going to be a little tougher matchup for Harrison, and I feel like in this game. But the Panthers look like they're at a loss, and they're going to slowly get closer to considering replacing Bryce Young as their starting quarterback, either during the year like they did last year, or they're just going to draft one coming out. I feel like Bryce Young's slowly on his way out of Carolina.
Who's going to be replaced first? What rookie or what player? Do you think Bryce Young? Do you think Joe Flacco? Do you think Daniel Dimes is going to be, or Russell Wilson?
I think it's going to be Bryce Young. Bryce Young is going to be the first one to go.
Okay.
I would say probably it's going to be either Flacco or Wilson. I'm debating between the two because those two teams are going to want to see what their rookies got. They're going to have to see what the rookies got to see if they have the quarterback of the future. I think Young, they don't really have anyone behind him to see if it's their future. So they're just going to let Young try his best to salvage his year. But the other two of the Browns and Giants are definitely going to be who do we see as our future first? And with Flacco having 2, I think Flacco will be the first one to be benched.
I can. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. With that
All right.
note, I think I think that was the last one, or we have a couple more.
No, we have a few more.
Okay, what you got?
So we have the Eagles and the Chiefs. I'm going to go another Super Bowl matchup. There's no suspensions. As we know, the Carter suspension has been held up. Mahomes is going to have a difficult time, but he's going to go through and make enough plays. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, they're going to go through and show up in this game? Question mark. They didn't show up last week. We'll see if they can go through and bounce back. But being an Arrowhead, Mahomes is going to be your game manager. I have the Chiefs winning in a close one, 21-20.
I got the Eagles actually beating the Chiefs on this one.
And I have the Eagles as well. I just think Mahomes not having the weapons that he would like to have, but his main weapon now being Kelsey against that Eagles defense, who with Carter back is just going to be too smothering for those other guys to break free. So it's going to be Eagles probably riding Saquon.
Got you. The next game we have here is the Falcons versus the Vikings. So my verdict here, get emotions on opposite side of the spectrum. A heartbreaking loss, a last-minute game-winning drive. JJ had a slow start, but will he continue this momentum at home? I had the Vikings winning 24-18.
I got the Falcons actually coming close on this one, but I got a feeling that Vikings are going to prevail. But, I mean, I feel sorry for the Atlanta Falcons fans that basically were celebrating early that they would have beaten Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay is in another level right now. So I'm sorry that happened, Atlanta Falcons fans. But I got a feeling that you're going to come close on this one. This is not your week, but I got a feeling that your first win is coming. I promise you. And that's not me being mean to y'all. As much as we're rivals and everything, I'm just being realistic because Minnesota looks decent, and I'm just saying, like, you're gonna win some games, Falcons. Don't worry. You might. I wouldn't care if you guys beat us. Hey, props to y'all.
Both of them are going to be the Saints. The 2 wins they have.
Give me Minnesota in this game. I just think JJ figured out, if in doubt, throw it up, and JJ's going to be there.
JJ to the JJ.
Yeah, JJ the JJ. He literally figured it out late in the game. I have Justin Jefferson. They don't have anyone who can stop him, so he's going to throw it and be like, oh, Jefferson's down there somewhere. He'll make a play.
All right, next we got Buccaneers and Texans. Easily, I'm going to say right now, Buccaneers again. No questions asked. Buccaneers are in the roll right now, and they might win the division again.
Give me the Buccaneers. I just don't think the Texans have enough on defense to stop that offense.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Buccaneers as well. Baker was efficient last week. He actually led the team in rushing as well. And I think he threw a pass to himself. No, I'm just kidding. He had Mbuka. He threw 2 touchdowns too. In his crazy stats, the Bucs actually had less total yards in time of possession than the Falcons, but still was able to go through and win through the efficiency and game managing of Baker Mayfield. Buccaneers 24-20.
All right, final matchup. We got Chargers versus Raiders. This should be interesting. Dude, I'm telling you. What did I say in the first week, CDP? That the AFC West was going to be a crazy division. And so far it's proven to be a good division. But in this one, honestly, I'm still riding the boat since we started. Justin Herbert, buddy. He's going to do phenomenal on this. Again, Chargers over the Raiders by 14.
14. So I was wrong about both these teams. I thought they were going to be leaning into the run game. Chargers had 90 yards rushing, while the Raiders had 56 yards rushing. Justin Herbert and Geno Smith were sensational last week, both throwing over 300 yards. Herbert had 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Geno Smith had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. My verdict in this one, in this AFC West matchup, time of possession is going to be key here. If the Chargers can repeat what they did against the reigning AFC champions, I can see them pulling out this victory 27-24.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again? I didn't hear you. What you said about Justin Herbert, real quick. I'm sorry. What you said? I thought you said that he was not gonna be a top quarterback. I'm sorry.
It's only week one. It's only week one.
I'm telling
Only
you.
week one.
I'm telling you, Justin Herbert. I'm gonna say it again, all the way. Justin Herbert. I'm riding the Justin Herbert train.
For my pick, give me the Chargers. Nothing against the Raiders. The Chargers are on a different level than the Patriots on offense and defense. The Chargers have an identity, and they have 3 good weapons at wide receiver, where the Patriots, as a fan, it hurts me to say, we don't really have anyone. We have 1 receiver, where the Chargers have 3, and they have a decent running back. So give me the Chargers to slowly close in on maybe dethroning the Chiefs for the AFC West title.
Ooh, wow.
Okay.
Dang.
Interesting take.
You know what? If the Chargers keep undefeated, I'm gonna just tell ZDP when we start that episode after a few weeks. I'm just gonna yell, "Go Chargers, go!" Okay? Because I kid you not, guys. I got a feeling Chargers have a good year this year. They're
gonna have a solid year.
I actually agree with Doyle. All right. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and give a shout out to everybody that has been watching again. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for our second week. This has been an amazing week of football that we had last week, and it's only the beginning. We're actually only on week 2 coming up. We still have 15 weeks to go, and the playoffs, and the Super Bowl. So I'm excited to everything that's coming up, and I cannot thank ZDP for taking the time to be here. I appreciate all the guests that we're gonna have here. Doyle, thank you for joining us today. You've been awesome.
No problem.
I want to thank everybody that actually started chatting it up, because we started getting a lot of people come in and actually recognize us. I mean, we had Thanatos Official, we had a Rival Lobster here as well, we had Big Will 82. We had a couple people that show up, so thank you guys so much. I know it was a little late, a little last notice, but hey, all it takes is a like, subscribe, and comment on the comments on YouTube, because if you do, we'll be reading them out loud over here, and we'll be able to, like, give you a personal shout out for reaching out, putting a comment on the video. So any last words, CDP?
Yeah, I want to go through and say thank you, everybody, for going through and tuning in. Thank you so much, Doyle, for going through and taking time out of your day to be part of this podcast. Hopefully we can go through and get you on for more takes and stuff like that. Like I said, I always love having you on. Louis, thank you so much for going through and hosting this podcast. And as Louis said, go through and check us out on all social media platforms. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and check us out.
All right.
We'll catch you on the fly.
All right. And last thing I'm going to say is that for those of you that are actually watching the VOD on YouTube when we actually have it uploaded, I'm letting you guys know right now, we reach 500 subscribers on YouTube, we'll do a huge giveaway. It's going to be a huge giveaway that we're going to plan to do for you guys. I cannot wait to tell you what it is. We're going to tell you when we get close. We actually are at 332 subscribers right now. It's a little bit of a long way, but we reached that, guys. We'll be doing a giveaway for you guys, so that way you guys can get some really cool, badass merch. We can't tell you what it is until we get close, because it's something that me and CDP want to plan doing. So thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you next week around 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. So catch y'all later.
As always, today's episode was broadcast live on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. If you couldn't make it to the live segment, feel free to watch it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iHeart Radio. Links on the description below. See you next time.